Let's go into the Akashic Records. I guess for our listeners out there who are just learning about this now, what are the ways that they like, how can knowing this and understanding this help them empower themselves in their lives? Like, what are the ways people can start to dig in?
Yeah, great question. So there's a deep knowing for people when they hear about the records. It's like when you start hearing about it, you're usually ready to start exploring it. And some people are meant to explore it right away and go deep and learn how to use it for themselves. And other times it can be where this is the seed that's planted, and somewhere along your path you're going to learn the records for yourself because it's an amazing life tool. And what it does is it allows you to get answers on demand that will support you in creating the life that you want. And so the questions that you get to ask and the support that you get to ask can be in any and all areas of your life. And so let's say you're having a problem with your romantic partner and you don't feel seen or heard. You could go in the records and say, "Hey, I am having a hard time communicating my feelings. Why is this happening to me?" And they might go down a path of like, this is a trauma response. Or they might go down a path is because you're avoiding your true feelings of that this relationship isn't working or whatever it could be. Or they can go, you're not viewing it from other perspectives and you're limiting your beliefs on what's coming through. And this is a learned behavior, whatever it could possibly be. But the neat thing is you get advice and it's up to you on how you use that advice. And for me, it's a tool that changes your life in a very short period of time once you put it into practice. And I'll give you an example. Like, I wanted to do yoga teacher training so I could get over my fear of public speaking. And so I took a very untraditional route to getting certified in it. And once I got certified, I asked in the records, "Hey, where can I teach at a studio?" And because I didn't get taught at a studio for my certificate, it's very hard to get a studio job in the beginning when you're just getting started. And the guardians of the records, also known as the master's teachers and loved ones, are like, "Go to this studio, ask to speak to the owner, talk to them about the kids class." The kids class wasn't even on my radar to even ask to teach, and ask to observe the class and see what happens. So I went to the studio, talked to the owner, asked if I could observe the kids class. He said, absolutely. I went and observed the kids class. 2 weeks later, he offers me a teaching gig to support in the kids class, which then allows me to do the adult classes. And so it can be from practical advice like that, like how do I get my foot in the door somewhere, or from a mind, body, soul connection, like working on your health or working on your finances or building a business or coming up with podcast ideas. There's all sorts of different things that you can use the records for. The main thing is like, if you're being guided to do it, find someone that can teach you how to do it.
Yeah. When you talk about it, Amy, it sounds like you're just having a conversation with like a mentor or a guide. It's so interesting. Can you explain it to us a little bit more? When you receive these downloads, is it as simple as just like when you're meditating, you get an intuitive feeling, or is there literally a process to like access the records and you're like, oh, I know I'm in the records now versus like my own?
I love this question. There is a process. I teach the process inside of Sacred Awakening because you do need a process. Like, you also don't there's many different methods and many different ways to use the records. Like, some people only use them for past life regressions. I love using the records for past life regressions, but I think that for me, I want to use it for the past, the present, and the future because I don't want to only work on the past because that can be really, really heavy. So there's different openings, different modalities, and how to open the records. And so I teach my students in Sacred Awakening how to open their records using crystalline energy. And then we send them a crystal kit too. So we have something tangible to hold on to while we're talking about something super abstract, right? And so there's a process. We do a very short process to open the records. You'll know when the records are open, and then you get to start asking questions. Or you can just sit in the records and the energy of the records and let the masters, teachers, and loved ones love on you. And then there's ways to know if it's coming from the guardians, the masters, teachers, and loved ones, or if it's coming from your ego or your mind, because you do want to know those things. You have to have discernment in order to take action on the advice as well.
Yeah. And when people talk about, say, spirit guides, is it the same or similar thing as this?
Some of your spirit guides can be guardians of the records and some may not be.
Oh, I see.
The guardians of the records are like ascended masters, archangels, deities, goddesses, loved ones. And not all loved ones are guardians of the records as well. And you may not know every single guardian that you speak to in the records. And it's not important to know every single guardian you speak to in the records because they talk as a collective most of the time. And they switch out all throughout the session because you want to have whoever has mastery in whatever it is that you're wanting support on in that moment to come through. And it's the example I usually like to give is if you have a toothache, you're not going to go to a car mechanic, you're going to go to a dentist, and you're going to want to take the dentist advice over the car mechanic advice when it comes to working on your tooth, right? And so they switch out just like that, where they have expertise in certain areas and they want to support you. And they do it from a place of non-judgment. And you don't have to show up perfectly either. And that's really important to note too, because sometimes when you think about spiritual practices, sometimes people think, well, I need to be dressed all in white and I need to be in the most high vibrational state and I need to be perfect in order to enter into this consciousness. And that's just not simply true. They know you're having a human experience. So show up exactly how you are so they can love on you and help you work through whatever it is that you're working on in that moment.
Yeah. And I know you talk about how you teach the process in your courses, but is there a basic version that you can share with our listeners here, like how they can begin to access or learn how to access?
We actually have a meditation that I walk everybody right into the records and they get like a secret message from one of the guardians. And I'm happy to provide that link to you.
Okay.
And it will be at theamyrobeson.com/ secret message. And that way that they can just go right in and they can get a secret message, and it's absolutely free to do that.
Okay, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. Because I feel like after listening to this, people are just dying to try it.
That's the cool thing is I always offer free masterclass series twice a year. We do like a 10-day event that's absolutely free where we go into the records and we work with the ancestors and we work with the guardians and we clear money beliefs and we tap into like infinite abundance. And there's all sorts of different things that you can do with the records. And a lot of times when you're thinking about it, what is it? You just have to experience it.
Yeah.
I totally have a free experience that you guys can do. And if you want, I'm happy to like channel a message or do something like that for you as well, if you'd like.
Actually, that sounds fun.
What I love to do with this type of format is I'll ask you what you have going on and what you're struggling with. And then I'll channel a message for you. And then I will also make it where it pertains back to your audience as well, because we're in a group setting. People are listening to your podcast. And so whatever resonates with them that I'm sharing with you is for them, and whatever doesn't, leave it behind.
Yeah.
So does that work?
Yeah, totally.
So what are you struggling with, or what are you working on, or what do you want support with?
I think I've been led clearly towards like a couple big projects that I meant to do, but I have a lot on my plate always. And I don't exactly know how to subtract or how to move forward sometimes. So I feel like I'm always spread a little thin. That's a big struggle. I'll just share that one.
So your plate's overflowing and you have a lot of projects that you want to do, but you know that you're like, you don't have the space to do it right now.
Yes. Like there are projects that, like some I'm more inspired than others, but it seems like there's not much that I can subtract.
Okay, perfect.
To make space for the ones that really inspire me.
So let's formulate a question, because questions are really important when it comes to the records. I already am getting information for you, but I want to formulate a question just so we can do that. So we want to ask an open-ended question. So a question that you could ask is, how can I solve this problem? Or what is it that is necessary for me to do to go into the projects that I really want to do?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good. Yeah. What is necessary for me to move towards what I'm meant to be doing, feeling balanced and feeling like not feeling like I have too many things going on.
Yeah, they're showing me your energy, and like part of you is solid, and then the right part of you is like paper thin. It's almost like see through. And
Oh,
so they're saying that you're not able to receive when you're in that position of like thinning out, and that it's really important to actually prioritize what you're saying yes to this year and what you're saying no to. And you're going to start saying no to more things than you are used to saying. And this will get you more excited about the bigger projects because you don't have room for all of them. And part of the becoming of who you are, very specific words that they're using, is figuring out what is a priority now and what is no longer a priority, because you've outgrown some of your old priorities that you would have died to have, but they're not priorities anymore. And by actually letting some of those go, and they're saying the simple thing is does this bring me joy, and does this push the envelope forward easily and effortlessly, or is it old and outdated?
it sounds like something that makes so much sense. And I think I've understood that, but it's also, I think I have difficulty saying goodbye sometimes and letting some things go, but it's something of my own journey.
But they're saying that and I love that. And they're saying by asking that question, is this old and outdated? Does this bring me joy? You're going to get very clear. Like it's going to be very clear in your body, not your mind. Take your mind out of the equation, in
Yeah.
your body, what that answer is. And you can make a whole list, go down, get a piece of paper out, make a whole list of all the projects, all the things that you're working on, things that you're wanting to work towards as well. Because what you're going to do is you're going to subtract half of the list. And that sounds so scary, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're used to working at such a high capacity. But they're saying those newer things that you're wanting to work on will bring more opportunities than the smaller things that you used to die to have.
I love that framing. Thank you.
But you can't make space for those new things unless you let go of the old things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like trusting that the new things will bring me what I want, because sometimes I'm relying on what's known, right?
Oh, I totally get that because I'm in the same boat. Like, you're like, this has always worked for me, but you're looking for something that takes you to the next level of fulfillment, right? And this is also part of like self mastery too. And so what they're saying is just stretch, give yourself permission to stretch, like stretch out of your comfort zone and into the new comfort zone and let go of the old. And for your listeners, to just kind of sum this up in a different way, we are entering into this beautiful age of Aquarius where it's so important to start looking at the old shadow parts that are holding us back and to work on those shadow parts, because those shadow parts hold us in fear and prevent us from moving to the next evolution of our soul's journey in this lifetime. And so when we work on those shadow parts and we work on those fears, we get to let them go and enter into a new reality that is prosperous and whole and abundant and brings you next level joy and next level self mastery.
Amazing. Thank you, Amy, for doing that. Thank you for the advice. Just hearing you speak from it like you didn't even do anything different. You were always tapped in. Like you already got the message. I thought you were gonna like meditate or do something.
I've been working in the records for a really long time. And my big thing is practicing spiritual laws and practicing like making sure I have permission to share with you what I'm receiving and clarifying what it is that you want. Cause I think that's really important. But I always have the records open, like especially when I'm teaching or doing interviews, just because there's always some sort of magic that wants to be shared. And I'm so excited to share it.